Kathy's late and coming.
Okay, awesome. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and honored guests. My name is Robin Lee. I am your table topics. No, all right. Mistake number one. I am your Toastmaster for today. And I firmly believe that Toastmasters is a safe place to practice so that you can get as many of those odd mistakes out of the way when it is in a comfortable environment and you are more prepared when you are out in life somewhere. And even if you are out in life and you make those mistakes, you've gotten used to how to handle them in Toastmasters so you can wing it when you're out there. So I will start by having Justin giving us a little bit of levity as our joke master today.
All right. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster and honored guests. I got fired from the bank today. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her. My dog accidentally ate a whole bag of Scrabble tiles. I took him to the vet. No word yet.
Oh, okay, good. All right.
Okay, one last one. I have two dogs. I named them Timex and Rolex. They're watchdogs.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
This is
That one, that way. Thank you, Justin, for that little bit of levity. Next, I will introduce the roles, and that gives people a little bit of time to explain what their role is to get a little practice in speaking. First, I'll ask for Justin to give me the role as the grammarian first.
Right. Like me to come up there or?
You could stand in place for
Okay.
this.
My role as a grammarian is first of all to give the word of the day. The word of the day today is lugubrious. Lugubrious describes someone or something that is excessively mournful, dismal, or gloomy. A sentence example: the dog gazed at us lugubriously for a few minutes.
Kelly?
Lugubrious. Lugubrious. So I will listen for the word lugubrious throughout the meeting and get extra points for that. And throughout the meeting as grammarian, I will look for good word usage, improper word usage, and filler words. And then I'll give my report at the end of the meeting.
I would say, as a word of advice to Toastmasters, being lugubrious is not ideal. We want to be upbeat people that inspire the world. And that is one of the reasons we joined Toastmasters. I actually used it. I have hardly ever remembered to use the word of the day, even if it would fit perfectly in my speech. I will sit down and realize that I didn't do it again. So I'm so happy that I did that. All right. Next, we will have Ruth describe your role as the timer.
Okay, greetings, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As timer, I will, excuse me for a second. Is this where I should face?
Yes, that's the camera.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. As timer, I will time the table topics speakers, the formal speeches and the evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Do I need to read the whole sheet or is that sufficient?
We usually read if you know that what the times are for the speeches, and you don't need to read like the icebreaker time because we don't have any icebreakers, but it's good to read the
Speech and evaluation.
speech and evaluation.
Like just read the sheet.
And you can show the cards
Okay.
at the.
Okay. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Those giving speeches should limit their remarks to their specific speech times. Did you say icebreaker? Continue with icebreaker?
No, don't do the icebreaker because we don't have one. So it's just the 5 to 7.
Most of the speeches should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I'll raise the red card. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I'll raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I'll raise the red card. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
All right. Did excellent, Ruth. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I welcome all coaching. It's been a long time.
Yes, Ruth was a Toastmaster in California a long time
A
ago.
long.
All right. Next, we will have Dawn describe your role as the general evaluator.
All right. Greetings, Madam Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of the general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. During the meeting, I will take notes on everything that happens and doesn't happen. I will evaluate each participant on the meeting program and look for good examples of preparation, organization, delivery, enthusiasm, observation, and performance of duty. At the end of the meeting, I will give my report. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
All right. Thank you, Dawn. And next we have Kathy is going to be our table topics master. Can you describe your role as a table topics master?
Yes, thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. So glad to see you, Ruth. The role of the table topics master is to provide some topic for all of us to speak extemporaneously for 1 to 2 minutes. I look forward to table topics.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. Next, we have our speech time. And in this club, we have our evaluators to introduce our speaker. So, Dawn, would you like to introduce Justin as our first speaker?
I will, Madam Toastmasters. This first speaker of the day is going to be Justin with the topic Summer Barbecue.
All right. Has anybody in the room ever had the opportunity to have a summer barbecue at work? One where you didn't have to take any extra time off. It occurs during the day, so you don't have to come after hours or during the weekend. Anybody ever done that? It's so much fun. I enjoy the warmth of the sun on a hot summer day, the taste of the food, the hamburgers, hot dogs, brats, or anything else, or even vegetarian or vegan options that are so prevalent anymore. I find these events very enjoyable. Not only the warmth of the sun, especially with the weather we're having right now, but also the smells of the food are so delicious and savory. Not only the food on the grill, but the side dishes, the salads and the pies. And we've had events at Toastmasters, and those things smell so delicious as well. It is so nice to go to these, and you also get to catch up with people that you haven't seen in a while. The last several years, people have been promoting, getting better positions, moving departments, all good things. And I miss those people. And it's so nice to get together again with people you haven't seen in a while. It's also so nice that you have the opportunity to do this at work. It's not only offered by leadership, but it's encouraged by leadership. I think that's a very nice gesture. Well, this last summer we had one at my work. And initially it was just going to be small. The small teams tend to do those periodically. Here and there as time allows. The summer is really busy for us in the water department. But I was talking to another team lead about how it had been a while since the whole group has done one, the entire water department. So we figured out maybe we should figure a way that we could all come together and do that this summer, in spite of our busyness. And he agreed. And we brought it to our supervisor to get approval to do this, to schedule one day for a couple hours, block of time for everybody to do this. And he agreed, thankfully. Once that approval came, it came time for us to get busy and get to work. We had to figure out a date, a good location, a head count, a menu items, and also a cost estimate to make all this happen. First thing we did, we sat down and figured out a calendar date that would work for everybody. Presumably work, it was going to be a few months away. You know how things come up, but we picked the best date that we thought would work. Next thing, we found a good location. We have a water treatment plant up in a certain area of town, pretty big place. There's a bathroom, place to do prep work. And if by chance it wasn't going to be such a nice day here in Western Washington, we could cram inside in this little area. It'd be crammed, but we could fit in there. So we chose that location. Next thing we had to do was figure out a head count. And with that, I asked people what they would like to have at the barbecue. The menu was set. They wanted hamburgers, hot dogs, and brats. Again, no vegetarian or vegan options, or we certainly would have accommodated those requests. Didn't have those requests. Well, now we had to figure out how to cook these items. The main office, they have Blackstone grills that the Wellness Committee purchased for use for special events throughout the year. But since we're going to take them off site several miles away, we went ahead and asked for permission to make sure they were okay with us taking them off site. Thankfully, they gave us permission to get them out there, take them out there. Then we had to figure out how to get them out there, because you got to carry them out there somehow. I can't just carry them and push them on their wheels. It's a little too far. Another person had a utility trailer. We asked him and he let us borrow it for that day. He agreed. So we had all those details worked out. Next thing we needed to do was figure out how we're going to pay for all this. The city doesn't allow us to pay for these events, but city funds it all. And normally if we're having small team events going on, we might ask people to pitch in a little bit here and there to cover the cost. In this case, we were talking amongst ourselves as team leads and thought, it's been a while, things are expensive. We want to make sure everybody can come and not feel burdened. So we all decided to pitch in ourselves and cover the cost for everybody. So nobody would have any excuses to not make it. You're getting paid to be there, practically just taking your lunch, and it's a free lunch. Hopefully everybody would make it. We had all the details worked out. It was just a matter of waiting for the big day. Feature date finally arrived, and that is when it was time to spring into action again. I will add that the day before, I went out and purchased all the meat and stuff like that we needed to make sure we weren't scrambling, make sure that things that needed to be thawed were all thawed out and ready to go. And then the day of, went out and purchased all the side dishes to make sure they were as fresh as possible. Went ahead and got to the treatment plant site, and we had the treatment plant operator go ahead and he set up all the tables and chairs, as well as we had somebody else take the Blackstone grills out to on site. He got them all set up for us. Another person was doing the prep work, the tomatoes, the onions, chopping up things that needed chopped up. And me and another team lead, we were the cooks. We got the grill set up early. Neither him or I have one of these things, and trying to figure out how to use it. And there were no propane bottles. They came without propane bottles. What are we going to do? We put the word out. Next thing you know, we had more propane bottles than we needed. Everybody pulled together, found propane bottles, and had us all set up. We also even had another person borrowed a tent, big outdoor tent, that he brought out to set up over the picnic tables because it was a nice hot day, needed some shade. And it was so nice to see everybody pulling together and get us what we needed for this event. Well, we started cooking about 30 minutes early, wanted to have a good stockpile, and we did. We had a good stockpile of food for everybody. But as people started showing up, our pile was dwindling quick, and we weren't keeping up. And we feared we were going to fall behind. But alas, we didn't. We managed to keep right pace with everybody taking the food. And finally, we once again had a pretty good stockpile. People were coming back for seconds and thirds, maybe fourths. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track. But we had plenty of food, we felt, so we decided to shut down operation and go join the group. And then we had a good time visiting, hanging out, and just being there with people. And that's what these things are all about. So if you're wondering if something like this is worth it, because it took some sacrifice for a few of us. And after looking back and seeing the good time people had, the fellowship, the relaxation, I encourage you, if you have the opportunity to do something like this, I would encourage you to take on the work and do it.
So is there
Can you
grace?
stay up here and introduce me?
Because he.
30
But there's
seconds,
inside the
grace,
house.
yeah, but they see the card and it's up to them whether.
7:20, 7:20.
Yeah, he got it in his grade.
So that was a definite, an interesting experience for me. So I have never had a 9 to 5 job in my life. And so having that kind of like, understanding what people would like in a work environment, I'm like, oh yeah, that would be, a good team building and seeing people and having that camaraderie. I've never had that experience, but I'm sure it's fabulous. All right, next, I am the next speaker, and we're going to do round robin evaluation after this. So you'll get 1 minute. I'll just have you when they've reached 1 minute on evaluation, just hold up the green and keep it up until they stop and then record their time. I think that'll be easier for you.
Oh, do I need to record times now? Like, for Justin, it was 7:20?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that'll be part of your report at the end.
So, so you know how to introduce a contest speech. My name, the name of the speech, the name of the speech, and my name.
All right, I'll try to remember that.
It's good practice.
Robin, last name,
Robin Lee.
Leaf, that's right. I was like,
Name of the speech?
throw perfection out the window. I got that. Well, I am pleased to introduce our next speaker, who is going to be at a speech contest next Saturday. And she is practicing, so we're going to do some round robin review. So as she's giving her speech, she's asking if everybody would pay attention and give her some feedback at the end that will help her win the speech contest next weekend. I'm here to introduce Robin Lee. Throw perfection out the window. Throw perfection out the window, Robin Lee.
As a Toastmaster, have you ever been thinking about writing a speech and you'd write something down and it's like, oh, you cross that out. Nobody's going to want to hear about that. Oh, maybe I'll talk about this. Oh, I don't like that. I invite you to throw perfection out the window. Now, as a Toastmaster, when I first joined Toastmasters, I wasn't that kind of a speechwriter. I was the kind of person, I knew what I wanted to talk about. I would write everything out meticulously, and I would spend hours, sometimes until 2 o'clock in the morning, rehearsing in front of the mirror, trying to memorize and get every single word correctly. And then when it was time to deliver that speech, I would have my evaluator say, Robin, that was really a great speech, but it would be wonderful if you talked about a little more about this and this. And I would think, well, that was in the speech. It just didn't get in the speech. So often we could practice for hours and it doesn't come out like how we wanted it to anyway. So many of you could have probably agreed with that. Now, my experience was on the 7th speech, I decided to work from an outline. And what happened? My ahs and ums went through the roof. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? I'm a health coach. Am I going to memorize every single hour-long talk that I'm going to give? And what if somebody asks me a question and throws me off script entirely? I can't afford to do that. So what did I decide to do? I decided, as a Toastmaster, I was going to practice by taking every last minute available speech. So our club is here on a Thursday. If a speech was available still on a Sunday, I would take that speech. And then I got to be where if it was a Tuesday and a speech was still available, I would take that speech. Pretty soon I was waiting till Wednesday night and then even Thursday morning. And I got where it was very obvious that I wasn't going to be 100% prepared So I gave away all expectation of having that speech be perfect. And I got pretty good at that. And I can now talk in any club. When as an area director, I would go in and they had a speech slot. I would take an available speech. So it really has actually gotten to be fun. I've been working in the last couple of years on extending that ability to throw perfection out the window into my regular life. Because while I might be good at giving that last minute speech, I am horrible at finishing an email in under a half an hour or even an hour. And sometimes I'll get back to my computer and I will see an email that I thought I had sent off 3 days ago. But I got stuck thinking they're going to think it's going to be too salesy. It's going to be, and I ran out of time. So there that email still sits in my drafts waiting to be sent. That is not the way to run a business. So I'm working on how do I get myself to send that email even though it's not perfect. One of the things that I've been doing is I've been playing around with AI to be able to help me with things. I had a writing project that I'm supposed to be creating an offer document. And I was told by this coach, he wanted it by this Friday, which was a week and a half ago. And I was stewing over it. It's long. There's a lot of questions. I don't have my niche figured out. So there's all kinds of things that were preventing me from getting this done. And in the wee hours of the morning, I believe 3 midnights ago, I decided to put this document that was probably less than a quarter filled into AI to see if I could get help. And I decided, AI, can you act as an executive assistant and help me with this document? And before you do that, tell me what I should call you. What do you want your name to be? And she said, Astra, like the stars, you have a big vision. This is going to be perfect. And she actually helped me figure out my niche. She helped me to write that document. And I got to see being able to get out of the way, throw perfection out the window in my business world, have a fabulous experience with that. So I want to invite you to look at where can you use throwing perfection out the window. In the Toastmasters world, Lance Miller, who won the world championship for public speaking, one of his lines that I use on a regular basis, especially in this particular speech, is he says it's all about speech time. It's all about stage time. And in the course of my using this speech to inspire Toastmasters in all the clubs that I've been an area director for, it's all about stage time. So it doesn't really matter so much what you talk about. It's that you practice getting up here, giving a speech, having fun, and throwing perfection out the window. One of the last times I gave this speech, just last Tuesday, one of my favorite new lines to end with is when you throw perfection out the window, miracles can happen. I consider that was a miracle when I was able to get past my blocks in my business. And it was a miracle when my evaluator said that that was her favorite line. I didn't even remember having said it. So I wrote it down and I asked her about it. But she said everything I said in my speech was exactly appropriate to help her with her contest speech. With that, I will hand it back to myself as the table topics master to now ask you, what is it time for you to do in throwing perfection out the window? So who would like to answer that question? And you put down my time for that. Anybody ready to throw perfection out the window in some aspect of your life? Or have you already done it?
tabletop S, Kathy.
I thought. you-
Oh,
Evaluation.
I completely forgot.
So
We're-
I'm timing this too, right? The table.
You time table
Yeah.
topic.
Your
Each-
timing tabletop.
But just each person, not Kathy. So
Yeah,
she'll come and ask
yeah.
for volunteers and then only the speaker.
Do we evaluate her first or do
Up
we
to you.
do tabletop?
Whatever.
Why don't we do the evaluation first
Yeah.
and that's small and we should still have a little bit of time
Right,
for table
right.
topics
Okay.
after. Sorry, I get, you get into your speech mode and then you forget
Yes.
stuff.
I was wondering, I was like, did something change? I'm glad you said something.
Oh, well, because we hadn't
I was
seen it
running
yet,
late.
so I had the secondary plan of
Right.
doing table topics
Well,
on the
since you
topic.
called me, I'll be first to do it.
Okay,
And you want to stay up there while I do it or?
no, you couldn't come up here. We're doing evaluation?
Yes.
We're doing, yeah,
1
and
minute
so
evaluation.
1 minute evaluation.
That's it, 1 million? Oh, excuse me. 1 minute.
For the round robin, that's what we,
1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Robin Lee, for your speech. Toastmasters, yes. My feedback for you is, first of all, brave to always stand up and do a speech with no preparation or planning. However, this speech you prepared for. And I love the fact that this was something you did different. You used the lectern and you started to write on it. So that was very engaging. I really enjoyed that. The use of the lectern. What else did I like? I like how you engaged with the audience. You looked around, you gave everyone eye contact. You didn't just focus on one side of the room. I will challenge you though on throwing perfection out the window. You threw it into the audience. And when you give a speech, there's a line that you're aware of that you can't go over. And
can your prop go over? That's an interesting.
yeah,
thing.
your prop cannot.
Your
go.
prop cannot go over.
So when you throw it out the window, I would suggest you like lateral window instead of forward window, turn to the side and throw it. That would be my recommendation. Overall, great. One more recommendation, bring the energy level up because it's very casual. And I think to engage people more, bring your energy up and it'll bring everybody else's energy up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robin, last time you mentioned you just want the hard feedback. Is that correct for your speech?
Yeah, or,
Contest.
I mean,
So
if you really like anything, that's very good to
that's
know.
good.
too.
These are just things like to elevate it for the
Yeah.
speech contest. So I'm not trying to just. You did have a pause when you said hour-long script. And then when you gave the dates, you really had to think about like Thursday and Tuesday. So didn't go with keep the flow going as well. So that would be some improvements. As well as I noticed this time you threw in some stuff about AI that I hadn't heard before. And it seemed like it didn't go as well as your previous times that you have done in this same speech. So maybe since it's last, you might want to throw that portion out. I don't know. But it didn't seem to flow as well as because it seems new. So just some tips on that. And then, yeah, that was it. But good job. I like she said, you threw the stuff out. You had this to
So
walk around.
I forgot
but I
to
know
actually
that you-
talk about why I threw the
Yeah.
mail out. So that was one of the things that I'm like, oh, I didn't cover that. So it doesn't make sense as much if I don't talk about it.
Yeah.
How that gets me to use the stage is why I do it.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's the feedback I had for your speech contest next week. So good luck with that.
Okay,
Hope you do knock it out of the park.
Mhm.
Ruth, do you want to?
No, I do want to just say, so can I just say something
Yeah.
without timing? In the middle of your speech, I really became very engaged. And also I use AI and I mean, I listen to what you're saying and AI is a great help. The other thing I want to say too, I didn't realize that was part of your speech. I didn't start timing you when you were throwing things around.
I don't, it's until you start interacting with the audience, it doesn't count. So that's actually my 1 minute of preparation is while I'm throwing that out.
Good.
So
I
it's the
didn't-
first interaction with the audience, whether it's verbal or gestural, is when the timing starts.
Good.
And some judges may consider that gestural. So maybe inquire. I don't know how you can inquire in advance, but
Well, if you
For
were on
preparation.
stage and you did it, people would assume
right.
that you're interacting with them. If you came on stage
Well,
and people are looking at you
Right.
and you sprung things around, you're already interacting with them. That's my
Interesting.
point of view.
so like when
I would
I've done it,
agree.
so normally then after I do that, then I stand for a little bit before I start. But at any rate, whenever I see the cards is the most important thing, that they are doing it from when they time to start.
It
So
would be
with,
good to ask though, as far as because engagement could be verbal or nonverbal, and that's nonverbal
okay,
because you're going to draw back into why you did that when you do it again while the papers are there. Otherwise, what would be the purpose of them?
Exactly. Imagine if you're on a stage, it's a dramatic act and people are already watching. You know, if somebody comes on the stage and enters a blank space and starts doing something, people are engaged already and they just assume you're gesturing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, very good point. Okay, Don, do you have any comments to make?
Oh, yes, I do. First, I want to say I think you had great tone and clarity throughout the whole entire speech. I think you really commanded the room. There is one thing that I would like to suggest. When you ask the audience the question, where can you or what can you do to throw perfection out the window? It would be more powerful for you when you ask that question is to point at the audience and kind of slow down there, you know, and kind of be more theatric about that when you say that. So that's the only thing I recommend on that. So that would be make it a little bit more powerful. But other than that, I think you did a great job. So
Okay,
It's about a minute.
Excuse me, Don, I'm sorry,
yes,
I did not time you.
that's okay. It was 1 minute.
That's what I just said.
All right, I'll say 1 minute,
Give
all
1
right?
minute.
all right, audience. Awesome. Now we have time for at least one or two, a couple of table topics because we only have one evaluator after.
Okay. We're going to do the evaluation of,
Of Justin's
Justin's
speech.
speech.
First, yeah.
Yeah.
You want to do that
Oh,
first?
before?
yeah, because we just
Yeah.
did your evaluation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yes. Okay. Well, we're mixing it up today. Next, we will have John evaluating Justin's speech.
All right. All right, first, Justin, that was a great speech on summer barbecue. We all love those summer barbecues at work, especially when we don't have to pay for it. So, good topic. All right, so first thing first, as I noticed, is you completely took control of the stage when you first got to the stage and moved the table and started writing your speech. So you commanded the whole space and the whole room by doing that. So that was pretty excellent, and it was very noticeable. So even so throughout your speech there was, I didn't know if you noticed, but there was a slight distraction when the new guest was asking Robin a question. You just kept going right through, and that's the things that you're going to deal with when you have group speeches. So that was nice that you didn't hesitate, you didn't pause, you just kept going right through even with a slight distraction. So there's a couple things that I think you could do better on, or maybe monitor or kind of take a look at the video and kind of work on if you think you need so to. But the pauses, you do like this pause between statements, and it's on my end, it's kind of noticeable. I know that you're probably like using that time to kind of think of what you're going to say next, but it is kind of noticeable. I don't know if you could kind of work on that to kind of smooth that out a little bit. Just like I said, take a look at the video or record it and kind of see what I'm talking about when I say that. And also, the I know people pace when they're on the stage, but somehow it was a little distracting because I think you were pacing a little bit too quickly with your arm movements. So your arm movements was great. So I'm not sure if it's better to like stand in one little area and use your arm movements as movements. I think that would be sufficient enough. But pacing can be great, but if it's going too quick, it's kind of distracting. So other than that, I think the best thing you did was the great memorization of your speech because I could not do that. So and that was also you just flow right through it, and that was amazing. So that was a good speech overall. Appreciate it.
Done.
All right, thank you, Don. Now we will do table topics. Yes?
Can I ask the question?
Yes.
So, for the evaluations for your speech, I raised the green at 1 minute. And was this different? Because should have been 2 minutes for you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I raised it at 1, but I have your time at 2:12. Excuse
Okay.
me.
I don't think we have time.
I'm a little
We don't have
stuck
time?
about that.
'Cause it
How come it
says-
was 1 minute for you?
Well, it's because when we do round robin evaluations,
Mhm.
instead of having one person talk, then everybody's getting a chance to talk. So
And we're
then we
gonna-
shorten it. So we're not doing and we really mostly only do round robin evaluations when people are preparing for contests,
Okay.
unless they have a very specific reason they want to get input from a lot of people.
Okay.
And so normally, a normal evaluation, you're getting one speaker gets an evaluation from one person, and it's a 2 to 3 minute evaluation.
Okay. So he was good. He was good. Okay.
Okay. You think we don't have time for any?
Cause it said, general evaluation starts at 12:40 and it's 12:42.
Okay. Then why don't we go ahead and hand it back to Don, because he is our general evaluator today.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. All right. So as far as the overall meeting, I think we accomplished our goals no matter what. We had a great meeting today. So it was a little bit kind of chaotic in the beginning to get the roles all settled and things, but everything just went great. So I think we started like a minute late, but things happen when we don't have everything just set up before. The audio, the video is great. Everything's great on my end. So let's see. I did notice obviously there was a little confusion with the table topics. We all know that. So, but the meeting was just like I said, was great overall. And I appreciate our guest Ruth for actually taking a role. And that was a good job taking a role today. You did great. So, yeah. So other than that, I'm going to pass this back. I'm sorry it's a little bit short, but great meeting overall.
You want to call for the timer and the general and the augmented?
I forget that's my role. Yes, I do. So let's call on the timer report. So Ruth, we'll have you give the timer report.
Okay, I don't have the protocol on how to present it to you, but I did keep track of everyone. So in the speeches for Justin, your total time was 7:20. And for Robin, your total time was 7:22. For the round robin evaluation, was that the 1 minute? So Kathy, you were 1:20, and Justin, it was 1:08 for you. And Don, you were part of the round robin. It was 1 minute for you in the round robin evaluation. And for the individual evaluation on Justin's speech, Don, your total was 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
All right.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Okay. You're
All right. So next, we're gonna have our. I guess we don't have our Mary. You guys both did it, Robin and Justin, right? You guys did each other.
I completely forgot.
That's fine. Okay, let's do this. Have Justin. Justin, you did your report, right? You want to do your report for Augur Meridian?
Sure. All right. A little distracted today, so I did not do it as thoroughly as I may have wanted to. Start with Robin. She had one word of the day. I had a couple spots where you did an of and of. And a switch a like what to a like how we wanted. Couple of good word usage, specific reason. Our guest, Ruth, counted a couple good word usage, engage audience, and protocol. Don, I had 3 so's, 3 and 1 you know. Good word usage. The beginning was powerful. Be more theatrical, take control, command space, and flow through it. Kathy, I'm sorry I didn't have much for you. I wasn't paying attention with your evaluation. Good job.
Good job.
So then Robin, I already got, is that everybody? That's everybody.
I have good word usage for you.
Thank you.
I have,
Oh, good.
oh man, I can't. Here we go. I have delicious, savory, promoting, encouraged by leadership, solarium, treatment plant, and no propane bottles. That's it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Very good. Okay, now you officially hand it back to me.
All right. So with that said, I'm going to hand it back to our Toastmaster.
All right, thank you, Dawn. Well, this has been an interesting meeting. As a longtime Toastmaster, that I have not taken the Toastmaster position in quite some time. Even when I used to do it more regularly, I would almost always mess up in some way, forgetting the order of something. And so one of the things that I really appreciate about Toastmasters in general and our club specifically is that it is a good place that we can practice doing things, and it's very safe when, if we mess up, it's just part of how we learn. And so I really appreciate that this is a club that we can learn, take a role, and it's totally fine if you mess up, because that's how we all learn. And so with that, I want to say, first, I will ask our guest how you enjoyed the meeting, and then I will call for roles for next week.
Oh, I had a lot of fun. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Excellent. And so who would like to take a role for next week?
Well, I'll do a speech next week.
Excellent.
I'll be Toastmaster.
Are you gonna make it in, Don?
Not quite. I'll be on Zoom.
Okay. That's second best.
So
It's always good to have you though.
Yeah.
Ruth, are you
Oh,
transplanting?
yeah, I'm gonna take the same role. I want to start real slow. Do you do hot topics, or, like quick?
We were going to,
Yeah.
but the timing, we probably could have done one,
That's
one
good.
or two.
Start, can I just speak impromptu?
Yeah.
So first, thank you. I really did have a good time.
Yeah.
And I'm here because I need practice. I have some ideas on what I want to talk about, what I want to work on. And I've been teaching kids, and I want to do marketing for my artwork, and put together maybe some YouTubes or things about the elements of art. Or I was talking to you about your brain on art, how essential art is. And for right now, I just need some warming up practice. So the hot topics is where I would start. I'm not sure if I'm even ready to get up at the podium. I did look at pathways online. Are there short 1-minute speeches at the podium? I didn't check that out.
Only in table topics is really
Yeah,
the
that's where I
only,
have to start.
yeah.
That's
Is an icebreaker is a shorter speech, right?
The icebreaker is a 4
Three.
to 6 minute, so that's not too long. You could do that fairly soon, maybe.
maybe. I guess I need a little pushing because I feel
I can
wobbly.
push you. And I actually really enjoy coaching people on their icebreakers, and so we can wind up
The icebreaker
Yeah.
was what, the first speech that you do?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also you noted, I'm filled with ums and ahs and, just not smooth, seamless speaking yet, so.
Yeah.
I want to start.
This is a
there.
great place to practice.
Yeah.
I had one table topics that I said 22 times in a minute and a half. And I was like, how is that even possible? So it's,
I could do that.
you could do that 22 times in a minute and a half. It's like, when did I say something besides That's but that's what this is for, is to practice and be able to get comfortable so that things can naturally grow and get better.
Thank you. So, yes, so I would love to join you and start simple, and I'd like to take on being the timekeeper again next week.
Awesome.
Okay,
Perfect.
awesome.
Perfect.
All right, Justin, did you want to take a role?
Your Toastmaster? I can evaluate Don.
Okay,
Okay.
Swap roles next week, Don.
Mhm.
I know.
and I will not be here next week. The next 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be in North Carolina. And so but I will get these into the agenda and send that out. All right, with that, anything else? Oh, so we have a challenge with the speech contest this Saturday. There is only one confirmed judge. And so we are seriously in need of judges. And unfortunately, you have to have finished level 2 in pathways. And so that cuts out any of the newer people. And so that is a challenge that we currently have, not having nearly enough speeches. So I don't know if either of you would be able to make it. We can bribe you with mung bean soup.
I don't, I have something to do next week and help my daughter
Okay.
out. But
Is Zoom qualify or you have to be in person?
You have
Yeah.
to be in. See, that's another, I mean, it's that they've made it that you have to be in person, in addition to having the 2 levels, and it's farther from home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. There are people flying down from Alaska for it,
Wow.
but
Wow.
it's so Alaska is in our district now for quite a few years, but when they made it that last year was the first year that contests now have to be all in person. Those people out in there's so few areas spread around Alaska, they decided they would rather fly to Seattle than fly to like